Today, we bring you a truly frustrating moment that has gone viral across British media and social networks. A Labour MP was exposed live on national television during an interview with Jeremy Kyle after repeatedly failing to give a clear and direct answer to a very simple question: where will the asylum seekers currently in the UK be housed? Before we continue, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. This awkward exchange took place against the backdrop of recent budget cuts announced by the Labour government, specifically a 2.2% reduction to the Home Office's funding. The move has sparked a wave of criticism, especially given that it comes at a time when the UK is facing an ongoing immigration crisis with no clear solution in sight. The MP in question, James Murray, Labour's shadow financial secretary to the Treasury, was repeatedly pressed on the government's current policy of housing asylum seekers in hotels paid for by the taxpayer. And frankly, his performance left a lot to be desired. During the interview, Jeremy Kyle posed the same question not once or twice, but 9 times: where are these people going to go? What is the government's plan for relocating them once hotels are no longer used as a temporary fix? Will they be moved into social housing, disused military bases, or some other form of accommodation? And crucially, what measures are being taken to stop more asylum seekers from crossing the English Channel in the first place? Throughout the interview, Murray's responses were vague, evasive, and ultimately empty. He began by stating that the government does indeed aim to reduce irregular arrivals, and that, as part of the spending review, an extra £280 million had been allocated to the Border Security Command. This money, he said, would go towards strengthening patrol efforts in the Channel and boosting operational capacity to intercept small boats before they reach UK shores. However, at no point did he offer any detail on how this would actually be implemented or what measurable outcomes are expected. When pressed again on the key issue, what will happen to those already here, Murray repeated that the government's goal is to speed up the asylum application process so that those who do not qualify can be removed from the country. This, he claimed, is one of the government's main priorities, to reduce the backlog, which, according to official Home Office figures, currently stands at over 100,000 pending cases. But once again, he avoided answering the most crucial part of the question: what about those who are granted asylum, or those who legally cannot be deported on humanitarian or legal grounds? Jeremy Kyle persisted, highlighting the widespread frustration among the public over the fact that thousands of asylum seekers are being housed indefinitely in hotels funded by public money. This situation, in addition to being economically unsustainable, is also creating social tensions in many local communities where residents feel that their basic needs, such as access to housing and public services, are being overlooked. Murray, clearly uncomfortable, continued to offer vague references to the need for alternative accommodation without specifying what that would involve, how many spaces might be available, or when such a plan would come into effect. Each time he was asked for a straight answer, he deflected the question back to budgetary matters, referring to a supposed long-term strategy that he never actually explained. Even when it was pointed out that Home Secretary Yvette Cooper had just suffered a major funding cut, which will undoubtedly make it harder to manage illegal immigration, Murray simply repeated that the cuts are meant to reduce the cost of hotel accommodation, a justification that makes little sense without a credible alternative for housing those affected. The interview ended without the MP providing answers to 2 of the most straightforward questions imaginable in this context: where will the asylum seekers who can't stay in hotels be housed? And what is the plan to stop further illegal arrivals in the near future? The lack of any concrete response only reinforces what many already suspect, that the government, at least for now, does not have a clear or coherent strategy to deal with the migration crisis. This kind of evasion only feeds a growing public perception that the major political parties, Labour now included, are simply not equipped to handle the challenges posed by the asylum system. The lack of transparency and the refusal to provide honest answers continue to erode trust in both the government and the UK's immigration policy. In short, the interview was nothing short of a humiliation. James Murray had a golden opportunity to lay out the government's plan in the face of one of the most pressing issues of the day, and instead, he made it painfully clear that there is no plan. The same question was asked 9 times, and 9 times he failed to answer. As always, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section below. Do you believe the Labour government has any real strategy in place? Or is this just another example of political improvisation in response to a deep-rooted issue? And if you haven't already, remember to hit like on this video and subscribe to the channel to stay informed on the most important developments in the UK. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.